Okay, welcome again to my reading of Vermis Old Curses and Buried Horrors. This is part 3 of my series. So if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 yet, I recommend watching those before you watch this. Alright, so Vermis right here. As always, I'm August Riot, and I love to read our work. You find yourself in a misty barren land of puddled dunes. You're instantly aware that you must be dreaming, for the last thing you remember is closing your eyes next to your campfire, the night after regaining your freedom. Yet, the cold touch of the sand under your feet feels very much real. An oppressive silence has taken over the land. Here, no wind dares to sing, and even your footsteps can be heard. From the mist emerges a skeleton figure, frozen in time. It gently floats towards you. A voice echoes in your head. Seeker of moonlights, hear my plea. Heavy weights the crown on the king's head. A cold throne brings discord upon the land. I am the herald of sands, and upon thee I bestow my blessing. In quiescence, thou shalt discover the true nature of man. The vow of silence, the omen, has claimed your voice. Once you arise from your sleep, you will find yourself unable to speak. Without your voice, you're unable to perform prayers, chants, and enchantments. In this world, the absence of words always arouses suspicion, for many creatures are capable of taking on human form, but very few can also speak the common tongue. If you cut off your tongue and place it inside a witch urn, you will regain the ability to cast magic. However, you'll have to treat it with medicinal herbs daily in order to prevent its rotting. In any case, you should acquire some parchment and ink in case you need to talk to others, although there is no telling if they will know how to read. Vermis. Beautiful artwork as always. Withered Woods. 3 days north after exiting the sinister coastal sanctuary, you step into the Platinum Land. A pale forest shivers, creaking in concert at the world as the world breathes. All over the forest floor, a thin layer of frost enshrouds the fallen leaves. Peace reigns, the forest sleeps. Beastly beings of the withered woods, lurking fiend, harpy, pale watcher, tongue cutter, hellbird, fragrant crown, possessed tree, lost soul, chanting figure, mischievous imp, mud witch, false apple tree, vagrant crown. Amid the emptiness of a small glade, a man-sized monolith juts out of the ground. Four impassible, gray-bearded faces it bears, one for each of its sides. Upon its brow, torn strips of cloth sail the breeze. As you invade its domain, the standing stone turns to face you. Then the earth around it rumbles as the monolith unhurriedly unearths itself, revealing a body not unlike that of a turtle, but many times the size of one and covered in a multitude of stone faces. Only tools forged to strike stone are able to leave a dent on the vagrant crown's impetuous body. You allow the crown to approach. The vagrant crown stares at you for a few moments, then a stone replica of your face materializes on its body. After that, it buries itself again. You attack the vagrant crown. The vagrant crown attempts to stomp you to death in return. However, the clumsy strikes of this lumbering enemy are easy to dodge. Running away from the vagrant crown is no hard task, for it will only give you chase until you go out of its sight. A rotting bed. A small blackened clump of dead charred trees disturbs the purity of the winter forest. From beneath a fallen log, a beckoning whistle tries to catch your attention. A pair of furtive, fiery eyes glimmers along under the wood. A deformed, shriveled figure lies curled up in the narrow space between the log and the ground, hiding from the sun. Even while cloaked in dimness, its nature is clearly not human. Now, daring the light, the creature peeks out and speaks to you like with a cavernous voice, revealing a pair of short horns. In doing so, the imp speaks. Greetings, friend. Welcome home. I've kept the bed warm for thee. Come now, be not shy. After all, this is where thou belong. I'm but a mere guest here. What's the matter? Don't thou long for a rotting bed on which to rest thy tired bones? Oh. The imp eagerly awaits your answer. Its red eyes stab your mind like a pair of flaming daggers. It is far too late to avert your gaze now. Turn away. The imp stares at you with spite from its nook. Foul five-fingered, 5 fingers, 5 times cursed, the moon shall fall and bring all to its rightful place. Approach the imp. As soon as you approach the imp, as soon as you are within reach of its lanky arms, the imp attempts to grab your legs and, with surprising strength, drag you into the hollow, breaking your bones in the process. If it manages to do so, it will devour you alive in a violent frenzy. Attack the imp from afar. The imp burrows into the soil and disappears almost instantly, leaving behind only a narrow tunnel. The dead leaves crunch and rustle under your every step as you tread through the withered woods. With each passing moment, the air grows only colder, and the lights dimmer. Sundown waters. Hidden by bush and trees lies a tranquil pond. The cold breeze gently cradles its crystalline waters as they play with the gleams of sunset caught within them. No beast, big or small, can be heard. The pond invites you to quench your thirst. A dark figure lurks amid the gray shapes of the trees across the pond, patiently waiting for you to approach the water. The poisoned lake. Unmoving, an old, bloated woman smiles at you. With black, rotten teeth, grayish mud covers her pale, naked skin. Her foot is dipped in the pond. With that, the clear waters are now revealed to you as dark and murky. The stagnant stench of decay emanates from them. In the blink of an eye, the strange woman vanishes from where she stood moments before. There is a rustling of branches behind you, and suddenly, cold, soggy hands tighten around your throat. As she strangles you, the cackling crone attempts to forcefully feed you a tiny pearl pebble. The Mud Witch is not a physically strong foe, but she is far from harmless. She can vomit a nauseating black sludge from several feet away, and her gurgling songs can coerce the forest against you, turning hidden roots into tripping traps and long branches into grasping hands that attempt to hold you down or steal your gear. As a means of deceit, this vile hag can also assume the guise of her former self, and so appear as a young, snowy maiden. If you escape from the clutches of the Mud Witch, she will torment you until you leave the forest. Her unseen presence will manifest as a sudden discomfort, and you might occasionally find her long black hairs in any food or drink you leave unattended. Accidentally consuming these will increase the influence that the hag can exert over you. If you decide to attack the Mud Witch, you might only get one good chance at it, for as soon as your first attack misses, she will withdraw and strike from afar until she manages to restrain you. Only by slicing off her tongue can the hag be defeated. No other wound, no matter how fatal, will bring death to her. Instead, she will dissolve into mud and rise renewed at nightfall. A small pebble carried by the Mud Witch is, in truth, a tonsil stone. One who swallows it immediately relinquishes their will to the vile hag, becoming her devoted servant, a witch finger. Just in glasses, sorry. A fate, maybe worse than death. The standing shadow. Deep in the forest, surrounded by rotten teeth and bushes, a small perfectly round glade can be found. Its land is barren of all life, as if a great burning had taken place not too long ago. In its center stands a tall black statue, bathed by the sun, and yet still cloaked in shadows. A dreadful mood dawns upon all who enter the glade, and grows only stronger as they approach the terrible statue, setting their guts ablaze and taking the breath out of their chests. Such are the horrors of the dark effigy that even the vermin that feast on the rotten wood that surrounds the glade have learned not to step, where the grass dares not grow. Up close, the statue looks coarse and sharp, and dark beyond all understanding, as if it had been born out of the fiery womb of the world back when time was still young. Long, threatening spikes cover its mutilated shape. A barely legible inscription at its feet reads, "Share our pain, share our love. Here lies the living remains of Seto Zar, born as a man, buried as a beast." Harpy. Narcissistic and territorial, the harpies of the withered woods nest high in the tallest trees, always on the lookout for possible prey. They adore shiny objects and find gold particularly irresistible. Despite their cowardice, they are known for their swooping upon travelers and snatching away pieces of jewelry to adorn themselves on their nests. They also enjoy toying with their human prey, luring them closer with their song while hiding their avian features in the undergrowth before, leaping upon them with knife-sharp talons. Pale Watchers. Pale Watchers are large, mindless creatures that roam through the depths of the forest. Their skin resembles, in color and texture, the bark they feed on. Despite their peaceful nature, they can pose a threat to those who fail to notice their presence among the trees, but they are more than capable of smashing someone to a pulp with their oversized heads if they feel threatened. Possessed Tree. Many of the sad souls that aimlessly wander through the withered woods find shelter within the warmth of its old trees. Some of them never come out of them. The willpower of a lost soul alone determines if it will become little more than a vaguely human face on the trunk of their tree, or if it will take control over its host. The trees possessed by particularly wicked souls will often attack and devour the flesh of mortal men in a desperate attempt to regain their humanity. In a meadow on the east edge of the forest rests atop a patch of lilies. There is a strange figure gazing enraptured at the flowers. His unclothed body seems shriveled beyond all hopes of healing, yet he possesses the unwrinkled face of a youthful man. As if deep in a trance, he appears oblivious to all around him. Eventually, he starts talking in a soft, quiet voice. The observer. Hast thou ever considered the lilies? For me, it feels as if they bloom just for us. This world we tread on is full of grace, of inimitable beauty, the majesty of mountains, the colors of the sky, the songs of birds. It truly is a paradise that expands with every step we take. Within the frail lily, I see our fleeting existence. It might be that our brief time is the price to pay. I wonder if in lands beyond they can enjoy lilies too. Mine heart fills with grief at the thought that it might not be so. The observer beholds the lily and speaks no more. If he senses your killing intent, he will stretch his arm and touch you. You will then find yourself in a far-off place before unseen by you. The house by the river. An icy creek of crystalline waters meanders through the hills, leading you to the river it feeds. There, where the two streams meet, stands a wooden cabin surrounded by a low stone wall. There is light and movement inside. A lean man comes out of the house at your arrival. An axe trembles in his hand. With a shaken voice, he begs you to leave. If you ask for shelter, the man will ask you, "Whom do you serve?" In return, he will only invite you in if you reply with one of the many names of Dorvis. However, he will first ask you to hand over your weapons or leave them outside, where they can do no harm, until you take your leave next morn. Farmer family. A devout family of 4 lives on the outskirts of the withered woods. They have been tending this land for generations and know well the dangers that lurk within the forest depths, hence their wariness and distrust towards strangers. Whom do you serve? This may be a good time to talk about the many different gods. In this case, we're going to talk about Dorvis. The truth, the bronze law, is the mute god of balance, justice, and prosperity. They are revered by many, for through the mouth of their interpreters, their divine wisdom has ended innumerable conflicts and provided solace during times of darkness. Those who oppose the bronze god become victims of their implacable wrath. There is no greater sin than to close one's eyes in the face of absolute truth. We have the hand of Dorvis, golden order, Dorvis, the mouth of Dorvis, and golden eyes. A warm supper. Crackling flames warmed the homely cabin, and the air is filled with the delicious smell of a stew slowly cooking. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Over them. For the first time since the start of your journey, your heart is unburdened by worry. The daughter stares at you with curiosity while hiding behind the furniture, and then behind her father when it is time to set the table. She dares not speak to you. With a gentle smile, the mother serves you a plate of stew, and, after a simple prayer, all of you eat in silence. It is simple, but comforting food. After the pleasant supper, the mother and daughter leave to rest, leaving you alone with their husband and father. After a long silence, the man speaks. How easy it must be to wield the steel. Am I wrong? Watching your problems bleed before you until they are no more. As children of truth that we are, it is my duty to share my bread with you, to open the door of my home to you. For Dorvis sees our blood as one and the same. But I want you to know that those who speak through their blade are not welcome in this house. Hate, violence, death. People were not made to live like that. I am trying to raise my daughters in this accursed world, a world where life seems worthless and people die like pigs, a world where the dead walk the same ground as the living, where false idols are revealed as gods. May Dorvis protect us all. I have fulfilled their will. Now please leave at dawn. Wrapped in a sackcloth blanket, and with your head resting on an old burlap sack filled with straw, you finally let your heavy eyelids close under their own weight. Your consciousness fades by the crackling fire. Your rotting bed. You are jolted awake only to find yourself lying in the middle of the woods, curled up under a scorched fallen tree, hugged by its branches and covered in dry leaves. Although it might provide some shelter, it would prove unwise to stay in the hollow until dawn, for it is at night when those that wish not to be beheld scurry out of their lairs and reclaim the land for themselves. If you return to the house by the river to recover your belongings, you will find the door shattered and its frames covered in deep scratch marks. Within the once peaceful home, blood has been splattered all over the walls, and most of the furniture has been smashed and lies now in pieces across the floor. Next to the fireplace, an axe can be found. Black gore stains its edge, and a severed hand still grips its handle. Upstairs, you can see a pair of scarlet bare footsteps that stop before a cradle. Okay, I'm going to stop there for this reading, but I hope you enjoyed part 3 of Vermis. And if you enjoyed that, please let me know. Please let me know what you think. I will definitely continue on doing some more recordings when I can. I've been really busy lately, but thank you so much for the support. I had a bunch of views on the previous video. These are some of my highest viewed videos on YouTube, so about 50 and 30 each. So I very much appreciate every single person that watches. Let me know what you think and what else you would like to see. I also stream on Twitch, so if you enjoy hearing me talk, I do talk quite a lot while I play a lot of horror games. So I do stream on twitch.tv/AugustRiot. I do have a new model that I like doing too, so please check that out if you can. Have a good time. I will see you in the next part.